3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, science class is now over. Thank you.
Okay, and
All right, I introduced to you Leonardo. And
so this video is showing you that how the CPU is working in the sequential process, and if you are working with GPU, that is going to be completely a parallel. So that is a very good thing. Okay, and the other thing is there is a one more term is there, TPU, Tensor Processing Units. It's the latest thing, and actually this Tensor Processing Units has been developed by the Google. Actually, GPU has came into the market in year of 2010. It started from 2010 for this application, for AI application, and the TPU has came to the market in 2016, which is specifically used for the tensors, which has been the tensor for it's in Google, the tensor programming. So what way the Google TensorFlow and these are the things we have. This will work for the TensorFlow programming. So before that, you can see that there is a scalar, vector, and tensor. So the scalar is nothing but a CPU. For example, if you have a matrix, this matrix is going to multiply, taking a single value. It's going to take a single value, and this single value is going to multiply with the other matrix, and this is a scalar value you have generated. But if you take with the GPU is nothing but it's going to take as a vector. It means a complete row it will be going to take, and complete column it's going to take, and this multiplication is going to done by the vector. These 4 nodes or the 4 content will be done parallelly. So all these operations may be what we call it as that operations in computer architecture, we call it as these are not independent instructions, not dependent instructions. This is the independent instructions. It is going to execute as a parallel. It's a parallel architecture. And if you go with the tensor, see here, if you go with the tensor, this complete matrix is going to multiply with the complete matrix of these things. It's work like very similar to the tensor. This is the actually the tensor processing units, which is the TPU. It's version 2 and version 3 is there. It's going to around its work in the fast of 180 teraflops. It's going to work. It's very faster, and we can't able to, but it's work with the TensorFlow only. But we can't say that it is not going to work for the gaming or other vision based projects or something like that. It is not that much of that. We go with the GPU. GPU will always be the best. But if your program is completely depends on the TensorFlow, then you can go with the TPU. The TPU is being provided in the Google Colab also. GPU as well as the TPU is provided in the Colab. So you can use it, you can also use it. The next thing is the FPGA, that is a field programmable gate array, which is used for the industry. It's a programmed, and it can be, it's been the dedicated machines, which is incorporation of GPU as well as the TPU also. It is more cost, which is not used for research. And let me start with this feature engineering. So I'm going with a little faster. This feature engineering is in deep learning. We always started with the low level features, and from the low level features it start to extracting the mid level features. And see here, one phase has been extracted first. Initially it start with edges, low level features, which started to identify where are the lines and edges in the picture. And after that, it's going for the next layer. The mid-level features is going to extract, that is nothing but the person is there, eye is the important, nose, mouth, and left eye, right eye, other things. And high-level features is nothing but the next layer, which shows the complete facial structures. This is we call it as the deepening. It goes, they keep on, whenever you're increasing the layers, it started to extract the more precise information about the data. It started to retrieve the more precise information. In traditional approach, we have to tell which features we have to take. Like we have to use some LBP concept or histogram or special interest, and we have to do some feature design. But in deep learning, no need to design anything. You have to simply say how many layers. Each layer, it start to load its own features. We call it as a feature engineering. And some of the problems like this thing here, you can see there is a road and we have some truck and cars and traffic lights is there. In order to, you have to find this objects, you have to train well. So this is one kind of problem. So usually the traffic signal or the vehicle identification systems, and a lot of things we can do with this problem research. So before that, one of the problem search, whether you are going to do, this is a computer vision based project. So my technology here, whether you go with the classification. So the first picture, the cat is showing this, it's a classification. So the picture, the complete picture it will take. From the picture, it will say that whether it is a cat or it's some other object is there. It will give that label outside from the picture. It returns the label. We call it as a classification. But the second thing, that is a red box has been brought here. We call it as a classification and localization. Okay, you have classified it is a cat, but where is the cat in the picture? But where is the cat? Exact annotation. Exact annotation means you have to put the bounding boxes where my cat has been located. You have to tell the corner or the left and right corner and what is the height and width of the cat has been located. Okay, even I have a problem. Okay, I want the exact cat only. Even in the cat picture, I having some background images like there is some grasses, there is some wall, there is some floor or something is there. So I don't want these things at all. I want the exact cat only. So that is also possible in the vision. So if you have more number of objects, if it is possible, yes, it is also possible. Object detection, the multiple object detection. From the single picture, you can see here, there is a dog is there and duck is there and the cat, two cats are there. So the cat has been, the red color has been indicated, red bounding boxes are cat and blue bounding box is the dog and the green bounding boxes is we call it as a duck or something. This is the object detection we can do for multiple object detections. This is, and this is the final one thing is the instance segmentation. This is a very, very, very complex task. The instance segmentation has been extraction of a particular object alone. So here the object bounding box is being the form of polygon. It is like a crab cutting. It's like a scissor cutting. So this image is exactly will extract the particular object alone and it will tell you that. Usually these instance segmentations can be used for healthcare systems. So usually we can use it for tumor detections and other informations we can use it, these things, multiple objects are like that. And image classifications, a tiger, giraffe or something, even if you give the pictures, see here, the tigers may be a part of the tiger. That means a full picture view of the tiger. The part of the tiger is being walking in the water and the head alone, the tiger is showing. So even whatever the image representations are there, but it gives the returns as tiger, like that giraffe, and the giraffe is standing along with the tree, and it's still this giraffe is standing along with the deer, and it's giraffe is there. Because the major part of the image is covered with that particular object, then it will return that particular label only. So this is one thing, the horse or something, this is we call it as the image classification. And then scene image classification, this is also an research which is used for making the classification of different cities. For example, the content-based retrieval system, the Google search. For example, in Google image search, if you give any images and you want to search that image in the Google, and you can able to do the search. Scene image classification, so what scene it is, street, highway, coast, and open country, mountain, forest, like that. It can be having the different classifications we can do it. This is one of the problem. And image captioning, yeah, this is one thing. It's a very good image captioning means I want the detailed script from that image. I don't want what it is inside my image. So simply it can tell woman or person or playing the dog or cat or something. I don't want that thing. I need a narrated text. I need a narrated text. So first, what is an image captioning? Once we give the image will start to tell. In Tamil, we tell you that padam paathu kadai sol. That means we have to tell the story from the picture. I have to tell the story from the picture. So here that the picture is first initially it finds the words. That means it finds the objects: woman, crowd, cat, camera, holding purple or something. And from that, it's going to generate a sentence. It's going to generate a sentence with the help of NLP, natural language processing. You can see the examples. Some of the examples here. The person riding a motorcycle on a dirt road. Maybe, probably it is out of 70%, it is correct statement. And if you take the second picture, the two dogs plays in the grass, but it is having a three dogs, but it tells that two dogs. And the skateboarder does a trick on ramp. Something is meaningful, and it will be more helpful and fighting over the punk, or they're trying to put the goal. Little girl is pink, that is blowing bubbles, something. So some statements is just relevant. Redact the sentences and everything. This is another the active part which is going on nowadays in image captioning and other things. These are the standard CNN architectures, which is nowadays we have it. So these are the architectures, exceptions, VGG 16, VGG 19, and you can see the sizes of different models. These are the deep learning models. Even the people who are not interested to do the new deep learning, because I'm not interested to make a very good new system, sir. I want to make a new defining a layer, and I want to find a very good system and for to making a learning process. I don't want that. So even you can use the existing models. You can use the existing models and you can do the transfer learning. From that, what kind of feature extraction technique they have used, you can add your own images to that, and you can extract the features, and you can make the model by your own, and started to changing some few layers, and then you can started to recognize your own classes. You can started your own classes, because transfer learning is also an active part of the research, because most of the people, they started to use the existing models, ResNet, AlexNet, and InceptionNet, and GoogleNet, LeeNet. So these nets are the dense net, which is used for making. See here the top one accuracy is NASNet large, which is used as 0.825 accuracy. But even you can see the parameters. See which one is a very less parameters. I think so MobileNet is a less parameters, because that parameters is used for MobileNet is used for mobile applications. So most of the applications which is used the deep learning models, definitely its size should be very low in the mobile, because the mobile computation power is very low. We have to use a low weighted, tiny weighted models for recognizing such good things, because that's a very important thing. Another thing, they have given the depth. Depth is nothing but the number of layers. So ExceptionNet, we have 126 layers. Even you can Inception ResNet version 2. The layers is the depth is 572 layers. Think that it is a very, 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 very big. Around 55, 873736 parameters we are used, and the size is 215 MB. If you want to use that model, you have to download the Inception model 215 MB model, and then only you can able to do the recognitions of most of the models has been trained with the ImageNet, and they have taken the standard YouTube models, images, and everything. From this, the execution time, deep learning takes more time in weeks for training and modeling, but it takes much less time for run the testing. So that is the only problem we have. The deep learning takes more time. And whereas if you want to use the machine learning, KNN is the best algorithm. It's a very best and very fastest algorithm. You can use it for increasing whenever you are increasing the size of the test data, then it will make some slow. Otherwise, the KNN is the very fastest algorithm, even for learning as well as for testing also. But here, the issue is the DL will give the results will be excellent, but ML results will be acceptable. But some of the machine learning algorithms, they will work with the exact rules. There is like decision tree, random forest. These are using well and good. This is the interoperability of both the DL and ML. And here the lot of applications we have. here this applications, which we have the self-driving cars, which is the research has been done with Google, Uber, Tesla, and Waymo. And these are the self-driving cars or autonomous cars is still in research, and deep learning has been incorporated in healthcare. And voice-activated assistants are there, Google Assistants, Alexa, and voice searches is there, and Cortana, Siri. These are the things we have it. And automatic mission translation, adding sounds to the silent movies. Nowadays, the deep learning is started to use in the movies. They have refining, or they can changing the black and white movies to the color movies. Color, they will add it automatically color. They have doing some good things in there. They are improving the resolution of all the old movies. They are reconstructing the images, and a lot of things has been happened in that deep learning area. And machine translation and text generation, that is image captioning and other things, automatic handwriting generation. Once if you start to teach the machine about your handwriting, how you started to write the, you can start it automatically, it started to write your homework, or you have started to write anything. Image and video recognition, surveillance systems, and suspicious activity detection, automatic image captioning generation, automatic colorization. These are the lot of applications we have. I have shown in the bottom, there is a guy is speaking this. It's a picture is taken from the deep fake. You can see in recent days, there is a lot of memes is coming in the Facebook, like the person is talking like, actually if the Hitler is speaking somewhere, and we can overlap the face with some other face, I can able to map my face in the Hitler face, that represents I can able to speak like a Hitler. The same voice, in my voice I can able to do. Here, the both correlation has been happened based on your face as well as your voice. The both the things which has been correlated with the this deep fake technologies, because recently the forensic departments in the US and UK based forensic departments, a lot of the fake videos has been released in the YouTubes. Like there is a Trump is speaking, or the Obama is speaking. They have not speak that words, but some people have started to speak something backside, and they started to do this deep fake thing. And exactly what they are speaking, the same thing is being spoken by the Obama or Trump or something like that. So these are the, see here, this guy, two guys is speaking. This the left hand side is the actual, and the right hand side is the simulated. So that is a difference. It's both are, they are using the same expressions. You can see the lip movement and the eyebrow movement. See, the both expressions has been mapped with the facial features, and voice is also synchronized, and these things. And I already told you that in banking and artificial intelligence, applications like banking and companies uses the MasterCard, RBS, and they have saved 1 million of fraudulent things. So by tracing the card of end-on access, in the security specialist are more effectively without the human. Even the human as finding the security specialist, the systems started to identify the fraudulent things easily, very fastly, and it saved the millions of dollars. The banking has been used with these technologies in all the reputed cards, credit cards. They have to, in order to avoid the fraudulent transactions. And they have learned the behavior of the transactions of the each and every banker accounts. They have learning their pattern of transactions. And this marketing, nowadays the marketing is also using this kind of technology in AI, because markets are mainly dependent. They have to reach the market. They want to be a pioneer. They want to sell the product, and they want to become, because they want to reach their market in the, because the competition every day, there is a new brands is coming into the in the cities and the world. And we have to be a first, we have to be a topper in that competition. So definitely the marketing people, they started to learn something from the persons. Even if you check with the Amazon, for example, if I'm searching some product in the Amazon, in Amazon, online app in Amazon. Suddenly, that the same image will be tie up with the Facebook. It started to show some advertisements related. For example, I'm searching some shoe. I want to purchase a new shoe, boots, men boots. I have to searching. Suddenly, if I'm opening the Facebook, it started to show me the relevant images like boots. It started to show me of 2 or 3 days. If I'm not purchased, that advertisement will show in my Facebook. If I purchase, that will not show in my Facebook. That's a difference. That is a difference of brands, including the Domino's, Yamaha, Subway, and web companies, Solos and Personalized. They started to do the very good businessing and flavoring. They're the customize the experience of the, because all the customers, they will have your regular product will be there. Some few people will like for the customized products. So definitely the flavor based sales may be a good in the marketing. So definitely this is one thing is good in the marketing. And this is another application is the chatbots, which is used in nowadays in the artificial intelligence. In fashion to health or insurance, intelligent chatbots are providing the borderline magics. Even if you take in the HDFC, HDFC developed the AI-based chatbots in EVA. We call it as an EVA, Electronic Virtual Assistants, which is built by the Bangalore company. It's the company name is SenseForth AI Research. SenseForth AI Research, and it's addressed 3 million customers. It's addressed 3 million customers within the short period of time. It's doing it's parallelly, it's working on that thing. And the chatbots is one of the very good. It's automatically it's completely work like similar to the human, how the humans are answered. It's some relevant questions or irrelevant questions. It depends on it's working. It detects the pattern and repetitive problems and predict what causing issues and particular user also. And often it makes more knowledgeable than any human customer. Nowadays, the chatbots are started to learning based on the user experience. For example, this HDFC EVA, Electronic Virtual Assistant, it started to interacting with the 3 million users. Now he is an expert. That chatbot has become very expert because he can able to knowledgeable. He can infer the knowledge from the 3 billion peoples. What kind of queries we can get from the HDFC. He can know all the loop corners of the each and nook corners of the HDFC banking technique. Okay, that is a complex questions also you can able to answer it. The next thing is the agriculture. So another it's a very good domain. A lot of researches is going on in the agriculture also. We can keep on tracking the climatical change. We can make a very good system which is connected with the Google engines, and we can find the climatical change, and we can predict the water scarcity and when we can expect the water, where is the water flow is there, and the crop yield, which kind of crops we can put for which kind of seasons, and these kind of things we can do it in the agriculture. Nowadays, the drone technology has been used for pesticides and other the drop water systems and irrigation systems has been started. And here the Blue River technology is one of the company which is used to the robot called CNSPay. It uses the computer vision technologies. It uses the drone and object detection to monitor the precisely spray the weed-side on the cotton plants. Here, this is not going to spray the pesticides all over the plants. Only it's going to identify which plant is being infected with the weed-side. At that plants only, it's going to spray the herbicide resistance. So that is the importance, because it can save the pesticides. We can optimize the cost, and it can increase the growth of, it can increase the yield of the farmers. So like the lot of researches has been going in the agricultures. Apart from this, there is a one app is there. Plantix is the app is there. That app is one of the app which is we can also use it in the India. This app we can simply we can scan the leaf, or for example, if you have a doubt on what kind of insect or what kind of disease has been attacked by the farming land, and from that it will guide you to how to proceed further, and what are the precautionary steps we have to take, and how we can protect that things. It can be recommendation system. It's the former recommendation systems. The next thing is the healthcare. So the healthcare systems, which is used for a lot of things. Normally, the healthcare systems they use started the IBM AI. It's Watson is being used nowadays. The Watson saving our lives. A lot of organization and medical care centers. The most of the products has been controlled by the IBM. So there's a Cambio Healthcare developed a clinical decision support system for stroke prevention. Stroke is the very bad disease. Once if the stroke has been happened, we cannot able to recover the patients. We have to give the treatment for within a hour or within 3 hours or something. The physician warning and the patient at the risk and having the heart stroke or a brain stroke or something like that. So this can be able to identify within the because the patients have the frequent checkup with the doctors. They have all the records has been given to the system in the centralized cloud system that will be learned the pattern of the person. Even there is having a special smartphones have eared in the wrist. They can keep on monitoring the pulse and heart monitoring rates and everything. This will update the status about the health monitoring status, and based on that, the before he is reaching to the hospital physicians will be ready for what kind of treatments they can able to do. So these are the advanced healthcare systems which we have, like cancer curing systems and other things is also there in the healthcare systems. And artificial creativity nowadays, I already told you that we can able to create a very short trailer or the motion picture for the from the movie. Once we have given a very big movie, from that it will take the important scenes and we make its own trailer. And this is a Mozart. This is an artificial creativity. We call it as a MuseNet, and this MuseNet is able to generate the 4-minute musical composition of the 10 different instruments. We have to tell the system to what are the different instruments you need to make a combination, and it gives you a very pleasant musics and compiles the styles and Mozart and Beatles or something like that. So it's completely it's designed by the OpenAI and DeepMind things. It's artificial. It's used for very creative purpose. Like if you want to become a music director, so simply you can develop these things. You have to teach all the rahas to the system, and if you want to make a very good music of this combination of raga, it started to play. At the same time, it search for the same music should not be available in the all around the world also, because if you are making the same music, definitely they will put the case. So at the same time, this will look into that whether this music is available in the around the world or not. It will check and it will make this new composition. It's a new composition. It will be completely new, and you can take the copyright patent or anything, whatever will be there for your music, new music, if the person is like that thing. And other things is there is a wordsmith, which is used for the natural language processing. The tech giants like Yahoo, Microsoft, Tableau, which is used to this wordsmith, which is used for narratives, insightful narratives. I have given a very big document. From the document, I need an abstract level of data analytics information. So I need a very short and crisp information about that, and in order to give a graph what it has been discussed. For example, if I'm giving a IT industry of sales report, from the sales report it needs to extract the important information and have to tell that what it has been precise information which has been shared. So from the data, it's going to give the insightful narratives. Insightful narratives means only it shows the highlighted things only. It's going to extract the highlighted things and it's going to make a report. So if you use this kind of technology, most probably the humans will not have the jobs. They will not have their jobs, because these jobs has been done by the humans. They've spent 2 or 3 weeks for extracting of information to make a good report. So now the system is started to doing these things. So SmartSmith is generated around 1 billion pieces of content every year for this tech giants, Yahoo, Microsoft, Tableau. So finally we come to the summary. And the machine learning uses the algorithm, pass the data and learn from the data and make the informed decisions based on what it is learned. And so if you want to use the machine learning, so whether we have to, what kind of data you have, so based on the data, whether we have to go, if you have a very sufficient, if you have a very low content of very sufficient data, go with the machine learning. If you have a very large amount of data, definitely you have to go with this DL, deep learning. So if you want to make the very good high accuracy or a high precision values, or the system, if you want to make it as an application or a product, definitely you have to go with the deep learning. And both the things are actually, the deep learning is a subfield of the machine learning and fall under the category of artificial intelligence, and it works like similar to the human-like artificial intelligence. Okay, and these are some of the ML libraries I would like to share with the links, and you can use these libraries for your research purpose. Few libraries maybe you can add it with the C or C++. Few packages we can use it with AWS, and some of the things we can use it for all the programming languages. And these are the proprietary ML toolkits. This is payable toolkits. You have to pay, and you have to get the license for this thing. And I'm using MATLAB, so IBM Watson, or maybe you have some trials will be you have. You can start using the trials for this proprietary ML toolkits. And these are the open for DL, deep learning open source packages are there. TensorFlow, Theano, Torch, PyTorch, or these are the things we can available. You can also use, you can access through these links. So now the time is 4. We have 30 minutes more. And I want to show some demo. So I think so we don't have the sufficient time to practice, but I can show you a very simple codes how these things are working. So first, thanking you. Can we have the demo session, right? So the first initially, I want to share one important thing. So everyone knows about the cloud, right? The cloud is, I'm going to use the cloud, AWS cloud. So I just log it out. Can you able to see the screen? This is the AWS console. Okay. The chat. Yes. Okay. So this is the AWS thing. Amazon Web Services. There is a lot of around more than 300 services are there here for the different things. But here I'm going to use it for IoT, artificial intelligence, deep lens, deep racer, SageMaker, machine learning, and deep learning. All the things is there. If you want to create one good mission, for example, the peoples are not having the sufficient price, or if you are not able to buy a new computer with NVIDIA or deep learning environment, you have to spend around 1,50,000 or more than 1 lakh rupees for purchasing a good deep learning machine. But you can't afford that much of cost for this thing. So definitely you can go with because I'm going to run the project for 1 or 2 days only, because out of this research I'm going to run one for 1 or 2 days. For that, how should I spend it for 1.5 lakhs for that thing? So you can go with the AWS, Amazon Web Services. So here, first initially, this is the link URL. You just note it down: AWS Amazon.com console. You can create your free account. If you are having a few people are from the academic side. For academician, you can use it from your institutional mail ID. That will be more easier to accept very frequently. Okay, to access frequently. So I used only the in normal Gmail account. So initially I signed in. I used my Gmail account for login. I'm the root user. So you can see once I log into the AWS management console, you can see the services. There is a button here. You can see the lot of services here. These are all services. See here for machine learning, you can see a lot of things. Amazon SageMaker, augmented reality, and comprehend, forecast, prediction, fraud detector. These are each and everything is very good applications. These are the applications and services we can use it there. So today I'm going to show you the Amazon recognition. This is you can just click the Amazon recognition. This tool it's going to be a very good tool. You can see here the spotlight, and see here on the left hand side you can see the demos, object and scene detection. See here, object and scene detection. Just click it here, and after once you click it, it opens a window like this. Okay, so if you open this window like this, already I have some picture has been given here. So here you can upload your own image also. For example, I'm going to upload my own image. For example, I'm going to take the image from deep learning. Yeah. So can you see here? This is the road image. I'm going to take this road image. So I'm uploading this road image. Can you able to see here? Yeah. So here you can see once if I am uploaded this image, this Amazon recognition, it started to put the bounding boxes and it started to tell what it is. So this bounding box tells person, and this bounding box tells bicycle, and this is the person, and this is cycle, and this is truck, and this is car, and what are the objects inside this photo, this image. It started to tell all the bounding boxes. At the same time, you can see here, see the results here, human. There is a human in this image. It's 99.7% probability has been shown. Human and person both are same, because machine is going to tell whether it is because it is trained both a human or person, because it doesn't tell that whether it is a male or female, but it tells that it is a human. Okay, there is a car. Yeah, it's 98% probability. It is accurately it tells that it is a car, and there is a transportation has been happened. This is the transportation, general vehicle, automobile, and if you click the show more, the other items which is available in this picture is bicycle, or we can call it as a bike. Maybe this is not a bicycle, maybe it may be a battery car. Sorry, it's a battery cycle. So cyclist, bike, or cyclist, maybe a sports or track, road, people, pediatrician, urban. Lot of information has been extracted from a single image, but that is having a probability of 98%. See, you can see here it's a 98%, this is 96%, but if you take the truck, it's showing only 75%. That is a 75% only we can able to estimate that it is a truck, but it is not a truck, it is a bus. But based on the probability, we can able to find some object instances from this images. So like this is the object and scene detection. And okay, let me have the facial analysis. Okay, here the facial analysis, I will upload this girl photo. You can see the demo. Okay, now it automatically identify the face. It put the bounding box for the face, and this face, it puts the bounding boxes, and it can make some interest points or some facial expression has been recorded, and it tells that it's look like a face. 99.9% is being looks like a face, and automatically tells that one more thing. It appears to be a female. Yeah, this is a girl. It's a female. And what it is age? The age range is 16 to 28 years old, and this girl is not smiling. 98.2%. Appears to be calm. Yeah, he's calm. 98. It's 93%. Not wearing the glasses, because he is not wearing any glasses. See here, this is the information we have retrieved from this image. So like that, you can. This is an emotional intelligence. We can sentimental analysis, emotional intelligence, based on for marketing applications. You can use this kind of applications. We can analyze the client. So whether the client is in the mood of happy, whether he is in the mood of anger, or what kind of mood, what kind of client he is, instead of asking the age and other things, we can able to estimate these things from our system. So this is one thing. See here, this is another input. This girl is wearing glasses. He's in the mode of smiling, appearing to be happy. Wearing glasses. Yes, she's wearing the glasses, and he's a female, and like that. If you have 3 persons, yeah, even the 3 persons is also, they will show more. Looks like a face, appears to be a male. This is a male. If you click that, it will show that particular faces only. If you click this face, it's going to tell me it's a female. See here, you can see here how many faces it has been detected. 3 faces has been detected. The girl, this is a female. It has the age of 5 to 15 years. This is a small girl, and this is it's a father. It may be age of 22 to 34, and this may be a mother, 22 to 34, because this is all the modes has been the smiling mode. This is one thing. And celebrity recognition is there. If you want to upload some celebrities, it started to tell some Jeff, or he's a Jeff Bose. If you upload some other celebrities, it started to only, it will recognize the celebrity only. It will never recognize your face. If you upload your face, you will not be a celebrity. Okay, so like that. And we can do the face comparison also. See here, this face comparison is a very good thing. Usually we can use it in the surveillance, video surveillance. That's why I'm telling one application which is used in the Dubai. This face recognition, once you have a criminal databases, the criminal faces will be there, and the criminal faces is been recorded as a reference faces. This is the reference face. And when there is a new face in the video camera or any faces, it started to search that particular face from the database and finding the similarity. See here, this face posture is the front side, but this person has been showing the something is left done, or some changing the face directions. So this is not. See here, this face is exactly matched with this girl. So this is the center girl is matching with this girl. This is a matching 99%. Other 2 girls is not matched. Other 2 girls are not matched. So even you can check your own data also here. You can use your own image by uploading the reference image, and you can use your own images for the predicting images. So like that. And you can able to do the text in images. So this is the sample image which is given. See, some text is in there. It's Monday, but keep smiling. So it automatically recognizes the OCR. It's work like a OCR application, optical character recognition. So it start to detect, and results has been returned. Okay. So whatever we have seen here, this Amazon AWS. Okay, so you are shown in this Amazon. How can we use it in the program? Yeah, that is the one thing we have it. We can use it as a API call. We can use this services. We can call it to the API services to our code. And from the code, you can use it for some other applications. You can use it for some other applications. For example, this OCR application, I'm going to develop. I'm just giving you an idea to you. I want to make an application. What application means? For example, whenever I'm opening my fridge, I want to look for some ingredients. So not ingredients, some products. For example, I want to, in my fridge, always I have to fill with milk, and I want to fill with some fruits. I want to fill with some nuts or something, some products or cheese, butter, or these things. I have to fill it in my fridge. So whenever I'm opening my fridge, automatically it should tell that your fridge has been not filled with milk. Milk is required. I want to make a recommendation system or intimation system. So I want to, before it going to be empty, I want to tell that whether this items has been available or not. First, initially, I want to detect the objects. What are the objects is there in my fridge? Whether this object is not available from my list, automatically it's going to be added in my list, and it's going to give the message for me to buy a new product list for my house. So this is the thing. Let me start with some demo session. I'm closing this thing. So initially, first, for this, if you want to make this thing, for this, you have to create an IM. So the people just go to the IM, it's a user. So you can see here the users, because I'm going to access this API, application programming interface, for my program. So I'm going to use the Python programming to access the services like recognition, and I'm going to access the services like S3. S3 is the storage bucket. Even I can store some data in my cloud also. So I can show something in the S3 things. See here, I have already created two IM users here. Already I have created in the 10 days back, and today I have created one sample thing. Even you can simply, I just show the steps. I think so the session has been recorded. You can ask for this recording sharing also. So you can simply add the user. So you can give the username here, Arun Demo 1. You can give your own name, whatever the name. This is the user. I'm going to use this user. So what I'm going to use the services for programmatic access. You have to make a tick on this thing, programmatic access. So once if it is making as a programmatic address, you can receive two things. One is the access key ID. Another one is the secret key access, secret access key. So these two things is very important to access your API. Okay, this page has been that much information. Once you have to give the username, and it should have to make the tick mark for the programmatic access and give for next, go with the permission. Next, click the next. Now you have to create a new group, because I'm going to make a new group. So that just click the create group, click the new group, and it will come the new group name. Here you can give the group, for example, the demo group 1. Okay, demo group, you can give whatever the group name. So here what I'm going to do, you can see all the service policies here. You can see, even if you want to develop an Alexa business application also, you can do it here. So now I'm going to use the service like recognition. What you see in the services, you can give REK. Okay, it will list all the recognition, Amazon recognition access. See here, here you have to choose Amazon recognition full access. Okay, Amazon recognition full access. That means you can be able to use object detection, emotion recognition, face comparison, all the things you can able to use. So this is once if you make the tick mark, this permission policy has been applied for this group. Okay, okay. And next thing I want to use S3. S3 is nothing but the storage. You can see here Amazon S3 full access. This is also you need to use. You would just put the tick mark of this thing. And I'm going to use two services here. One is the S3 service, another one is the recognition service. So now just click the create group. Now you can create the group. See here, the demo group has been created. Now simply don't do anything. Simply click the next and skip this page. I'm not going to assign any key for here because the key will be automatically generated. So please skip this page. Page number 3, you can skip it. And here you can see the demo group and permission summary. You can see if you click it, you can see what are the programmatic access we can give it. Now you have to click create user. So once if you've done the create user, it gives a message as success. And you can see two things. One is the access key ID. Another one is the secret access key. You can simply click the show and you can see the secret access key, because we are going to use these two things to access the API. Otherwise, you can simply download this thing, download.csv. Okay, I'm downloading the CSV here. Even if you click here, I think so this window is not shared, but it is an Excel sheet. The same information will be shown. What is the information is shown here? The same thing which is shown in the Excel sheet. You can copy from that Excel sheet also. Now we have completed our work. First, here we have seen I have created the users. Okay, so this is the user policy. First, initially you have to do this step. See here, I have created the users. Now today I have created the Arun demo 1, demo group 1. Today I have created with some user ID and passwords I'm having. So now this thing is completed in the Amazon Web Service. Now let me start the VS Code. Okay. So let me start this thing. I'm minimizing. I'm closing this window. Stop sharing. So I forgot to say one thing, and sorry, I forgot to say one thing, and what is that? Yeah. Here, this in services, you can see some S3. You can search it for S3. S3 is the storage. It's a scalable storage in cloud. Here, I already created some buckets. You can see some buckets, S3 buckets. I have created some buckets. Here, you can simply click this button, create bucket, and you can create the bucket. Buckets is nothing but a storage container. You just a storage container. Here, I have created Arun Nehru 2 and Arun Nehru 3. You can see that in Arun Nehru 2, I have uploaded some image files. See here, girl, objects, sample 1, sample 3. These are the images I have uploaded. Using this upload key, upload button, I can upload these images into my storage devices. It's one kind of cloud storage. Okay, you can create one bucket. Bucket, you have to give one unique name, and after that, in that, see, I'm creating one bucket. I'm clicking the create bucket. Here, you just give some name, Arun Nehru and -3. That's bucket name is already exit. Okay, 34. Same bucket name, so you can't able to use the same bucket name here, and you have to choose the region, because the region is nothing but the Amazon cloud services which has been available all around the world. You have to choose the nearest server region, so that server region has been more thing. And the copy settings from the existing bucket, no, I'm not going to take any copy settings. Simply you can create it, that's enough. Don't go for the other options at all. Simply you can make the create, and you can see that this bucket has been created, and get into this bucket, and you can see that is an empty bucket has been empty. Now you can use the upload button, and you can upload from the add files. You can upload it from wherever possible. See, I'm uploading this image. It can be uploaded here. Upload. It's uploaded. So you can see here. See, now the text.jpg is being uploaded here. And you can see the images like that. You can upload n number of files like images, videos. If you are doing the researches, you have a very big amount of data, you can upload it. You can upload it as a folder also, or you can create a folders, and you can upload it as a zip file, and you can extract it, and what are the things you can do it here. And once if you created the S3 instance, now let me go with the code. Okay, so I think so most of the peoples have using the one second. This is my code area. Here, see, I have used only how many lines of code? This is around 9 lines of codes, I think so. This is, see here, around 8 lines of code. This is the code. I'm using the API. See, for this, if you are using the Anaconda, I recommend you all to use the Python with Anaconda Python. So here you have to install the package Boto 3. That is it's a software development kit which is used for SDK, which is used for AWS SDK, AWS Amazon Web Services software development kit. Simply you can pip install Boto 3. If you install it, means you can install all the packages. I will share the procedure for how to install this Boto. And once if you import this package, this is the only package I required. Another thing, this second line code is boot core exception, because sometimes we can not able to connect with the AWS services. So that time we have to know what type of error it is throwing. Sometimes the credentials may be wrong, or sometimes the service may be unavailable. So for that, we need this client error should be reported here. This package should be called. So the simple thing is here, you have to create a Boto3.client. So that is a client is mean your current machine is working as a client. So now you have to, first argument is the recognition. Recognition is nothing but your service name. This is the service unique name which is available where I have clicked in the Amazon Web Services. There is a term recognition. So you have to tell the recognition. If you are using Alexa, you have to tell Alexa. If you are using S3, you have to tell S3 here. So what services I'm going to call? So for this call, I have to provide AWS access key. This is my access key where I have generated there. Whenever I am created the user, that time I have generated two keys. One is the access key, another one is the secret key. You have to paste it these two keys here. Okay, that is very important. Other thing, the region is the optional. Even if you want to change the region, you have to tell the region. Here I'm choosing the US East 1 region. Okay, this is optional. This optional parameter is optional. But these three things is very important. What services you are going to call, and what is the IAM user access key ID, and other secret key access. So this thing is very important. And one more thing here, if you are not created the IAM user with full access, it will throw error. If you are skip that step, it definitely it will not work. You are not able to work on this thing. See here, and the third line, you can see the fourth line. So I want to collect the image dictionary. Image dictionary node mean where is my source? What I want to recognize? I want to recognize the image. So where is my image is being located? I want to tell to the system where is my image is there. So now I want to tell the image dictionary. So I'm going to use the S3 object. This is the S3 object, which is we go use it as the dictionary. See here the S3 object. I'm going to call the bucket, which has been S3 bucket. And in the bucket, I have created three names: Arun Nehru 1 and Arun Nehru Nehru 1 and Arun Nehru. This is the bucket name. See, simply you can use the bucket name 3, 4 or 1 or 2 or 3, 4 like that. So inside the bucket, there is some files may be there, objects. See the file name. There is an image file is there, objects.jpg. Objects.jpg is a file name which has been created there. And you have to tell, first you have to tell the service. Second, you have to tell where is your object, where is your image is there. And either you can store it in the S3 storage also, or either you can store it in your local computer also. If you have it in the local computer, you have to convert it as the raw data. So that's a code is also available with me, and I can share that thing. And here the labels. So once if you recognize that thing, you have seen there. For example, if one image is there and that image is returned something, the human 98%, and the person is 98%, car and vehicle or something like that. So these the things is there, and it has been recognized. And finally, rec is the name of the return variable of rec, detect labels. This is the calling function, detect labels. So you have to pass the first image. You have to pass the image. So the image is already stored in the image dictionary. It's just stored in the bucket, S3 bucket. And how many labels, maximum labels you want to find identified from that particular image? 5 labels is enough. So I can able to increase this as 100 also. If there is 100 labels is available, definitely it's going to return 100 labels. Or if you want to return only one label which you have the higher probability, that label is going to return there. So like that you can able to choose here. And finally, it will return the labels because all the labels will be stored in the dictionary. So that is the name of labels. So that labels is going to print in the each and every line. So finally, I'm going to print the labels, and finally it's showing to when I'm run this thing. See, I'm going to run. This is a very 8 lines of codes to access the AWS. So I'm running this code. It's running. Because it takes some time because it's going to connect. Yeah, I got the results. See here. Actually, I passed I show this objects. I show this object image later that. But from that image, what it has been shown here, from that image, you can see only the 5 labels have been returned. So what are the labels? It's a furniture, table, wood, desk, and flooring. So the 5 labels have been returned with the probability. You can use these return statements for your work. Okay, even where there we can have the very good UI, but here we are using the programmatically, we are extracting this thing. Okay, this is one of the very good thing. I can show this object. I can show this objects for you. Can you able to see the screen? Yeah. Oh, I can show it here. Okay, this is the objects. See, this is my input object. This is my input object, and this is the input image. From this input image, what are the outputs I have got? I have got a table. There is a table is there, and wood is there, desk is there, and flooring is there, completed is there. Okay, now my question is, what about if I'm increasing these labels? I'm going to increase the labels of 15. So I want 15 labels from this image. So just run it. See here, now the 15 labels have been returned. Furniture, table, wood, desk, person. There is a person is there. Yeah, because there is a, because you can see through the wall, there is a girl is in the window. So there is a person is there, and a computer is there, chair is there, plywood is there, LCD screen is there. So it's having the probability measures is also there. Okay, this is one kind of thing. And other thing, I want to tell you that one more thing. Yeah, some people may ask, sir, okay, you have given that it's classified, what are the objects is there? But I want to localize that objects. I won't need the bounding boxes, or I need the specific location of the images. So how can we do that thing? Yeah, we can do that thing. We can use it the same thing, but we have to write some detailed scripts, because here it may be returned some confidence score as well as the bounding boxes values also. For that, you have to make some print statements. Some of the codes you have to write this print statements. These print statements will print the more information about this thing. See here, say the same code here. See here, here I'm using the sample3.jpg, which is stored in the bucket on the Arun Nehru 2. The sample image name is sample3.jpg. You can see the sample3. I think so. The sample3 is not here. One second, I will put it in the sample3. Yeah, that image is not here. Yes. Download as sample3. Yeah. Just 2 seconds. I got that image. Yes. Yeah, actually, this image is going to be a. Actually, this we're sharing here. The image is sample. This is the image. So I'm passing this image. There is a one person is lying down. Is a human, and this is the lion. Okay, maybe it may be a crossbreed of lion and tiger. You can see the image that this is the not. It's not a pure lion. It's not a pure tiger. It's a crossbreed of the lion and tiger. So now let me have this thing. How our system is going to recognize. So this is a sample3 image which is I have stored in the S3 bucket. So totally I'm going to return 5 max labels. So here the minimum confidence is 90%. That means this is another parameter. It's going to return those are having the probability value more than 90%. So definitely that is going to happen here. So now I'm going to run this thing. So you can see the running code. One second. because it doesn't have the number of maximum labels is 2 labels. I want to decrease this confidence score for minimum 50% or something, so it maybe have some problem. Yeah, got it. See here. So once I have run this code, I have taken the sample image 3.jpg. So the first bounding box, you can see here, the first label is the person. Okay, the first label is the person, and it have the confidence as 99%, and it returns the bounding box values as top, left, width, and height. That is the exact bounding location where I can extract the person from that image. So this is the bounding location. This 4 values is the bounding equation, and we have the, and another label is returned as lion. Yeah, this is a lion, and it have, because it is not a pure line, but it looks similar to the lion. Okay, so it have the confidence score is 98%, and it have the bounding box. The same confidence score has been returned here. So like that, we can extract these 2 informations from that particular image, and you can use it for some other applications. So once if you find that objects from the image, and then you have to start the recognizing for some other applications. Even you can person identification, from the person identification you can go with the activity identifications. A lot of examples is there, and even I can go with the emotion also. Even you can see that emotion details. So if you want to see the emotions, this is not in organized manner, but actually this will be written in the JSON format. Actually, the return thing has been JSON format. Once if you use the proper printf statement only, you can use the dictionaries to extract these values, and you can able to segregate. So one person's what is the confidence score, and you can able to retrieve the emotions, whether he has a mustache. See here the confused, confidence score, fear, and like in what way he is being represented. Like that, you can get a lot of information here, right? So I will share this sample codes to you, and it will be more useful for running and testing on this thing. And you can create your own. You just created the AWS account, and you can use this credentials, this key ID and password, and that will be, you can be able to access it. And I think so. We are running out of time. I think so. I think so. You have had a very good experience on this session. It's, is there any doubts or